Pa, I guess.
Oh, you starting, not Owen.
He's
What
giving
just
you the
happened?
chance.
Oh, he's giving you the chance. Brilliant. Thank you,
Next
Owen.
week I'm going to be the one out there with the hand on the shoulder. I guess we'll start with Pop and his availability heading into a busy week for you guys next week.
Nah, obviously, Pop is a big loss. We know his injury, but you know sometimes you don't wish injury upon a player, but for somebody like him who never had the injury, this is also another way for him to find a growth. You know, in who he is as a leader, who he is as a footballer. You know, so we're devastated to miss him. But on the other hand, it's also a chance for him also to also understand what he needs to do to continue to help and guide the team, not being on the field.
How serious is that? What kind of time frame are you guys looking at?
Well, I will do it. That is one thing that you have to ask the medical. We just heard it. I think we're talking about 4 weeks maybe. That's estimate. I don't know much.
And then obviously with Mo coming back and reintegrating into the squad, how quickly are you going to have to get him back up to like 90 minutes given this?
Well, we had the communication with the academy that he was with in Senegal, so he's constantly training. Devin had made sure that he got a plan, but obviously, you know, the game is something different, right? You always want to play a game, but at least we know that Mo is a fit guy. He's keeping himself fit. He's doing the work that was given to him. So we're definitely looking to integrate him as quick as we can get him back.
And then with the rest of the squad, are there any changes to some of the fitness stuff we've seen in the last couple of weeks? Players coming back, players departing?
Yeah, we have some players coming in. Obviously, yeah, Casey is the one that has left out. Obviously, as a club, you know, then you look to fill those holes, and we're working on bringing in a player that can be in that position as a centre back. You know, so Bobby Brandon are working hard on that, and. Yeah, and Emmy is trending the right direction. DJ is trending the right direction. So is Charlie. It was great to see him run around today. So same as Ryan Flood. So we're happy with the availability that is coming along the way.
Obviously, you brought up your support for Casey and the decision he made last week. But was that something that took you by surprise when it just kind of came out of the blue?
I mean, he's been thinking about it a lot. It's like I say, you know, sometimes you don't know what people go through. And for me, that's why I always open my door to players. And that's why I always say that it's important for me to know them as people before the player, because then you can spot things. And I spotted that with him. And I called him after practice. And I was like, you know, like, you didn't seem your usual self. And then when he explained it to me, I could fully understand it. Because, you know, sometimes it's not easy in our sports for people to speak. That's why, you know, we're doing all this mental health tests all around, ice bucket, all of this stuff. But I think the biggest challenge that we should do is #communication, because that's what it is about. Because to communicate to people, help them, guide them, listen, you know, and for me that is part of my job. And when he came to the conclusion, I was happy for him because he felt relieved.
When you look back at the past match, you talked a lot about the creative challenges that your team kind of faced.
Yeah.
When you get the chance to rewatch and revisit some of that stuff, what do you think you could have done better as a group on the playing field?
Same intensity as we played with the first half. I think there was a lot of good stuff, but obviously you want shots on goal. I think we were there, but we did not get our shots off. But there was a lot of positive things to see from the pressing side, from controlling the game, because they also didn't have a lot of moment into the game. But the one moment they had, they took it, and that's where they are and why we are not where we need to be yet, where we're going to get to. But again, Owen's favorite word, you know, trust the process, you know, so that's where we at, you know. And again, we have a very young group. It's not an excuse, but also take into consideration who they are, what we're trying to get them to do, you know, and keep pushing them every day. This is the most important thing. And we're going to get to where we need to be.
Coach, not to look past your match coming up this weekend, but you have the opportunity to play a Major League Soccer team. What does that do? I guess, what does that mean to this club, the opportunity to do that? And then can you draw on past experience yourself from having coached, played against an MLS team when you coached a lower division team and playing against a team in the top tier?
I mean, next Wednesday obviously is going to be a great game for the club, but the first focus is Colorado on Saturday. because we need points, and we're going there to try to take 3 points in what we do in every game. So that game is the most important game for us. We cannot look beyond, but I do understand the magnitude of hosting an MLS team in the cup, and also the inspiration for these players who are looking to play at the higher level. There's nothing better than getting an opportunity to play against a winner 2 years ago themselves. So it should be a fun day for the club. It should be a fun day for the players. It's going to be a fun day for the fans as well. But first of all, let's take care of business on Saturday against Colorado.
Con muchos partidos viniendo este sábado, después el próximo miércoles, y todas las ausencias que tienes en el equipo, con Papa ahora lesionándose, Mo todavía no ha regresado, ¿anticipas usar más jugadores de la academia?
Sí, porque será 3 partidos, 3 semanas, miércoles, sábado, sí, es muy importante por un poquito cambiar de la selección, porque yo creo que los jugadores, fitness de jugadores es muy bien, es muy importante, un poquito tácticamente y cambiar un poco de equipo con el partido con Houston y New Mexico.
Y con todas las ausencias que tienes en tu plantilla, ¿sientes más energía de ciertos jugadores para tratar de ir y ser titulares para tu equipo?
Sí, pero fútbol hoy es un poquito diferente. Me es más importante ser jugadores y no solo mira el futuro, y le mira hoy. Hoy juega por ganar un partido, por la confianza, esto es muy importante. Me es muy importante porque somos un equipo y los jugadores por los títulos. Es muy importante la ambición por los jugadores de este club.
Pero hablando de tu próximo partido frente a Colorado, un equipo que tampoco ha empezado la temporada como ellos hubieran querido, ¿sientes un partido de pronto un poco de muerte entre estos dos equipos, que va a ser un partido duro, dos equipos que en serio quieren ganar?
Es muy importante partido porque Colorado es el campeón. Phoenix le trabajar por los campeones, ¿entiendes? Es muy importante, es un partido muy importante.
Obviamente dijiste que te querías enfocar en el partido contra el Colorado este fin de semana. ¿Cómo se está preparando el equipo y cómo se está sintiendo de frente al partido contra el Colorado?
Para mí no partido diferente. Para mí es una falta de entrenamiento más o menos, porque es muy importante y los jugadores y le trabajo duro y le jugando fútbol. Para mí necesito por su mentalidad a venir a Colorado por ganar.
Sí. Y se viene un mercado de transferencias, se va a abrir una ventana de transferencias. ¿Planean en hacer algún movimiento, algún fichaje? ¿O no puedes responder eso?
I keep that one secret.
When you have this many games, like 3 games in 8 days, what have you coming up, how do you manage kind of what they were talking about, but just like, how do you manage the roster? How to play guys?
But you have to, because obviously you have your high minute guys that they can get those, but also it's important because it's a long season, like to manage those players as well and give other players opportunity, because they also need those games moment. And we know that we have this very important game here coming on Saturday, which is Colorado, which is only our focus. And then Sunday is when you start to prepare for the game against Houston. And then Thursday is when you prepare again to go against New Mexico. And then you know that you have to do that. Yes, we did not rotate much against after we played Tulsa, because there was a momentum, so you wanted the momentum to go. I think this one it's a good one to rotate, because the game Saturday is going to be very tough mentally, physically. So will the game on Wednesday, and then you need to then rotate against New Mexico. But obviously you are looking to have young players playing. For us, we trust the young players because they've shown that they're capable of playing at this level.
What about Colorado Springs? You mentioned they're the champions from last year.
Mm-hmm.
What about them stands out to you, and what kind of problems they can provide?
Well, I mean, they are a footballing team. They want to play football, obviously, and it's always good to go against the opposition who are the champion, because that's what we aspire to be, you know. And you have respect for them, but also we want 3 points, and that's the only focus that we have. And I'm hoping for a great game from both sides, you know, a footballing game. So looking forward to it.
You mentioned the word control earlier in terms of this past game.
Yeah.
For different coaches, that can mean different things. What is control in your mind?
Well, I think control, it's controlling when we're in possession, but also controlling when we're not in possession, because that's the both sides of the games that you got to do. I think we limited San Antonio to 0 shots in the first half due to the dominance that we had on the ball, due to us controlling that aspect of the game, because if you have the ball, opposition can't score, you know. But it's managing second half. I think the intensity was good. Second half we went a little bit away from it, allowed them to come more in the game, and they still is an offside goal in my eye. If you look at it, you know, it's still painful moment, because games are of momentum, and they got their momentum and they took it, and that's where we have to learn, get better.
How much does where the ball is vertically matter on the control? Like how far away the ball is from your goal? Because that's obviously going to...
No, but obviously that's what you want. You want to be dominant in the opposition half, because then you know that they have a longer way to go, like to attack your goal. We're not looking to keep it on our own half. We're looking to keep it on the opposition half and put them under pressure when we have it and when we lose it.